My friend Chris and I love the show Hot Ones on the First We Feast YouTube channel. We had the fun idea to do a Hot Ones show tribute for a Q&A video, so I'll be answering your questions about music while eating hotter and hotter food until it hurts and we all laugh.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. This is a show called Pep Talk, where we're going to ask questions and eat spicy wings, and they're going to get progressively spicier as we go on. So I hope you're ready, Ben.
Okay.
All right.
It says El Yucateco.
Yep, it's no big deal.
It's no big deal.
Oh, I was going to cheers.
Sorry. I don't want him to touch, because it's gross for you. Alright, I'm cool.
Oh, they just did the whole thing.
Yeah.
One bite, done.
Thanks for making the food.
These are vegan wings because Ben prefers them.
I'm a freaking vegan these days.
The first one we have here is from Finn Gleason from the internet. And he writes, I have a difficult time developing a habit of practice. I have a very low level of skill in music, and I want to have a process to practice and a structure to work from.
I think one of the things that will help anyone develop a good habit with practicing is to eliminate as many barriers between that person and their craft as possible. So one simple thing you can do is have your guitar already out on a stand near where you like to sit, so you can just grab it and have a tuner nearby. Just anything you can do to make it so that once you feel even a little like practicing, it's not like a burden to get started. When you're trying to develop habits, try to develop a habit that's easy to develop first before you make it complicated. So it could be as little as, I'm gonna definitely pick up my guitar every day, and then you get the habit of holding it. The odds are once you're holding it, you'll wanna play something. You're not gonna just be like, all right, did it. But if you have a really busy day or you're depressed or whatever, and you're really tired, you might not play it, but at least you did the thing, you picked it up.
The next one we got here is Pain is Good.
Okay.
It's a Louisiana hot sauce. It's one of my favorites, really. It's kind of almost like a barbecue.
Oh yeah?
But I'll let you make your own judgment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Touch tips.
We'll touch
and we go.
Yeah.
I really like the food.
We're gonna do another question. This is not a YouTube question. I'm gonna keep you guessing here.
Okay.
How do you feel like your specific background and the way that you grew up has influenced the way that you approach music? Because you have a very unique style and a unique sound.
I've grown up in a time where it was easy enough for me to record myself. So I was making albums throughout high school. I made 4 albums that were, terrible. It offered me a lot of chance to really hear my ideas come to life and figure out what I like and what I don't.
Do you feel like the age that you start, learning music has a huge factor on how successful you become at it?
Well, I think it helps. I mean, definitely helps to start early because then certain things become intuitive faster. But I don't think that anyone should ever think there's a cap on their potential because of that. Anyone who loves music is capable of making great music. Sure. I think that's the key to making, in any style, any type of music, the key to making great music is to truly love it. I think that you can't do it otherwise.
Or then you have a lot of kids that are forced to play music.
Right.
That, once they're in high school, they're like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, because the love's not there.
Yeah. It's time for the next one. We're moving up. This guy I picked up locally. It's called Tres Diablos. It's a habanero hot sauce.
I love to eat.
We'll do another YouTube question. Appa Rillo, or maybe it's Appa Rillo.
Yeah. It could be either one.
He writes, hey Ben, I'd love some more videos on practicing music during your commute to work.
Oh yeah.
How about something with audiating melodies, arpeggios, and chords?
Okay.
Can you explain what that means to me too? Because I don't know what
Sure.
audiating means.
Well, audiating is like when you imagine a sound in your head and then you are able to identify it, versus just playing and then realizing what it sounds like after you've played it. It's just like that, imagining the sound in your head. When you hear music in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually using that. Well, on your way to work, if you ride the train, it's really hard to do a lot of singing work. And I think singing work is really helpful for audiation, but you can take an interval ear trainer app of some sort that will play an interval and then you press a button to identify it. That can work on the train with headphones.
Sure. What about for people that have already passed ear training and are, can identify pitches and move around quickly? Or is that less common?
With intervals?
Yeah.
Well, if you feel really good about your intervals, I mean, keep in mind it's different going up and down.
Yeah.
So you gotta practice descending, and you gotta practice pairs of intervals at the same time. So if you can find a music theory app that lets you hear intervals played ascending, descending, and harmonically, and in multiple octaves, that's a pretty tough hurdle. But then if you do get past that, and plenty of people do, then if you can find a way to have something that plays entire chord progressions that you have to identify, that would be really handy. I don't know about that app, if that exists. It probably does. But if you are in the car and you can sing, I recommend just there's a 20-minute playlist of vocal warm-ups on Spotify that I really like to use, I can link to.
Yeah.
And if you just sing that 20-minute exercise of vocal warm-ups each day, you'll get better at singing the pitch that you are hearing played back to you.
Oh, that's cool.
And that connection between what you hear and what you sing is much easier to form than between what you hear and what you play, if your voice is somewhat fluid. So I think like in the car, it's a great time to practice singing.
No one wants to be the person on the train. Oh.
Right.
The next one is Dirty Dicks. You know it.
Yep. That's every day after I use the pool. Touch tips.
Yeah.
Tip and dip.
This one's my favorite usually.
It's so sweet.
So now it's time for a little segment that I love. It's called Explain That Song.
Okay.
And we're just going to sit here and listen to a song and then, tell me what you think.
Okay.
So we're at the point now where we stopped eating actual food and it's going to start moving into the really tough sauces.
Oh boy.
Which I'm really excited about because this is what I live for. Hot Ones has changed my life.
Yeah, me too. It's made me realize that there's certain kinds of burning in certain places I just don't mind.
Let's do the next one here. This is a sauce that I got actually from the Heatonist up in Brooklyn, of Hot Ones fame. Mm-hmm. And it's got scorpions in it.
Ooh.
Oh no, not scorpions, Carolina Reapers.
Uh-oh.
Wow. It's called Firewater. Touch and tips and then sink it like a ship. Tell me about a time on tour with Bent Knee where it got crazy or really weird in memory.
Well, there's a lot of sleeping on floors, which isn't such a big deal. But every now and then you find yourself on the floor where when you stand up, your hair gets caught in fly paper. And you'll look over and you see a couch, and then there's a mysterious man giving tattoos. And he looks up at your bandmate and says, "You ever heard of hepatitis C? I lost one of my needles." And then you sleep on the floor, and there's really loud music all night. And then early in the morning, around 5 a.m., a young man who received a stick and poke tattoo walks in, talks to the hepatitis C guy, and the hep C guy says, "So what do you think of your tattoo?" And he says, "I don't like it." "I love it!"
Okay, so yeah, this is the bomb. It needs no introduction. To me and anyone who's watched the show, it's pretty obvious which sauce is the worst.
Yeah, it's supposed to be this one, right?
Yeah, let's just
you're implying.
dive into it. Got another YouTube question.
Okay.
Ethan Shapiro writes, "Do you have any advice for improving vocal tone?"
Record yourself singing. Be in a band with an amazing singer who can give you advice. Get the least expensive inner ear monitor setup you can, so that when you rehearse and perform, you're hearing yourself more or less the same way. Mm-hmm. Because how you hear yourself affects your intonation a lot. But as far as things just to practice just your basic tone, recording yourself and listening back really helps. And singing a lot, singing every day, doing vocal warm-ups every day. You find out things about your voice and how it feels, how different mouth shapes kind of feel, and you get used to how each vowel feels and how to sing a vowel more in tune. Sing in the shower, sing in the car. Oh, this one's pretty hot.
Yeah, I'm feeling that.
Yeah, good.
Can you guys put more sauce on the wings?
Do we need to? Why?
Because I want to see you guys suffer. You guys have no reaction.
Our producer said that the wings weren't spiced enough, although I complained and I said they were. So we're going to add a little bit more to each one. You know how Hot Ones does the last dab? We're last dabbing. Oh, God.
Look at this. Is
We're last dabbing every wing.
that looks like a chocolate chip. No, like a Hershey's Kiss cookie.
Oh, no.
Last dab.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. This is just getting dumb.
Okay.
We're going to go to new territories here
The
emotionally.
bun was fine. This is not.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
This is
see
what
you there.
we did for yummy dinner. Very stupid. I really like these wings though because you put butter on them or margarine. Fake butter. I like them fake.
Yeah. Okay.
right.
Ben, you're working on a puppet show right now.
That's true.
What does that mean?
Well, my friend Greg Bowen and I got a grant to make a puppet show musical film. And the puppet show is about middle school.
Yeah.
And it's got 10 songs in it. And
How long are they all together?
the whole thing's 50 minutes.
Okay.
As a film, it's like 45 minutes of music.
Uh-huh.
And then I felt it was important to express many perspectives in this piece, and it takes a lot of work to make it.
It's a real bitch.
It's gonna come out later.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything is different.
Yeah. What? So you didn't make the puppets? You just wrote the music?
Greg Bowen made the Greg Bowen and some of his collaborators made the puppets and are filming it and directing it. I wrote the story with Greg Bowen, who did a bunch of many music videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Videos on this channel.
Oh, it's getting so much worse.
This really kind of sucks now.
Yeah.
So then I did the music, and I had my friends play on it.
That's really cool.
All right.
Yeah. I'm going in. This is Blair's Mega Death Sauce with Liquid Rage.
Oh, right.
Are you ready?
Yeah. You could put a little bit of that in your pasta, and it would be great.
Cereal.
Oh.
Ben, it's no secret that you're a big fan of Kendrick Lamar. If you had to pick a best song of his, what would it be and why?
Man, it's hard. Well, it's so hard because I love him so much. Well, one that comes to mind right away is Hood Politics, because just the way he sings on that just reminds me of Kung Fu. Just like his flow on that and the way the beat under it feels
Yeah.
really just does something visceral. And
There's some really cool metric stuff in that song too.
it samples Sufjan Stevens, my other favorite guy. Couldn't be a better combination. But it's like it's just like that beat is great.
Yeah.
I love it. And then the way he's like he just, you know how they call him Kung Fu Kenny now?
Right.
It's appropriate. He just sounds like this super measured, fluid, but fiery, like ferocious force when he's rapping, just like Bruce Lee in film.
Yep. Okay. All right, here we go. This is the new Hot One sauce, the last dab.
Never had it.
It's over 2 million Scoville, and it's already covered in this. And then we dabbed it. Of course, it's called the last dab. So
That's what you're supposed to do. Where would you? I love the initial moment.
it's real pepper sauce. It's not extract. So
It's so good. I just love the beginning. You gotta eat.
are you my mom now? So Tony Atkinson, writes on YouTube.
Yep.
I don't know which video he commented on, but I'm sure it's a great one.
if I can figure it out.
In reference to education and internet aspect of music, especially what you're very involved in, don't you want to think or believe that Ben E is going to become famous? And if that happens, will you be able to continue doing the education and YouTube channel kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Is it more important to you than the band, or are they in tandem?
Music's everything. And music, it's like a big, delicious cookie. Mm-hmm. When you eat a cookie, you enjoy it because of all the ingredients that went into it.
Right.
And the way they mix. You don't take out the baking soda and just eat that. Tastes like shit.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about music. It's teaching, performing, writing. Not exploring music fully. At least I'm not. If I'm leaving any of those out. Because I spend so much time thinking about myself when I'm working on my craft.
Right.
I spend so much time thinking about other people when I'm teaching. And I spend so much time thinking about community and teamwork when I'm performing. So, would you like to know someone who only thinks about his or herself? Do you imagine someone could be successful if they never work in a team?
Yeah.
You think somebody who never thinks about anyone else would be a good boy or girl to have your sex with? No! The creative people overcome much harder obstacles than how do I find time to film a YouTube video.
Yes. All right, we made it. This is the final one. We got one left.
This is not very... Okay, yeah, we're done.
We gotta do it.
All right.
This one's called The End. It's supposedly 6 million Scoville.
Yeah. This I had at your birthday party. I've had this. That was the end of the party for me.
Stamp it into the wing.
Come on now. Come on.
Little contact, little one-on-one contact.
There you
Okay.
go.
There you go. Oh God.
All right. Okay. I love the food though.
Yeah, I know. That's why you're here.
This is really big.
You said numerous times that's why you came here, and I believe you.
Let's do it.
Last one.
Shalom. Love margarine.
What is it like being in a band with somebody that you're also dating?
Well, it's nice to be able to not have any long distance time when we're on tour together. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy the that fact that our adventures are shared.
Yeah.
Adventures. Musically speaking, we like the same music so much because we find most of our music from each other's recommendations and shit. So it helps for kind of having a shared language. I mean, eventually we're gonna probably yank a baby out of that. You're gonna try to make it into a big,
Will the baby be in the
healthy
band?
person, and then put the baby in the band. And my point is, I guess that we're making lots of babies. We're making music babies and eventually human babies. So it's sort of like good training for the insemination process.
Two-part question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it sounds like you have some ambitions in that side. What about
Yeah.
ambitions for the band in the short term? What do you want to do with Ben E right now?
I want to make our next music better than our last music and play lots of kick-ass shows. I used to, a few weeks ago, answer that question I just want to figure out how to make a living out of it because that's what's holding us back from X, Y, or Z. But now what I think is, or what I'm trying to make more of my center of my focus for the band and everything is I want to enjoy my life while I'm living it. And I want to do a fulfilling thing. And the band provides me with this incredible opportunity that I never had and probably never will have to make music with these 5 other people who will stop at nothing to make sure it's as good as it can be. And there's no imbalance in how seriously we take just the album and just the performance.
Yeah.
And every show So making music in that setting is very fulfilling, where I know, like, you know, if I went on stage and did something horrible, like played absolutely terribly, the show would still kick ass.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not just me.
Well, Ben, it's been a pleasure having you.
Thanks, man.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me. Look at all this production. Chris Anderson. Chris takes pictures of bent knee. Good.
I've done it a couple times. I'm a photographer. I like taking photos of bands and people. You can see my Instagram. It's gonna fucking...